Hey, what's up you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs, and today I'm going to walk you through step by step how to pour a concrete pad. I am by no means a professional when it comes to concrete. I have a little experience, but like most of you, I do make mistakes, and there's a few lessons learned that I had throughout this process, which I'm going to share with you guys. This one is a landing pad for a set of steps coming off a deck, but this could serve as a shed pad or maybe a pad for your air conditioner unit. Concrete can be a little intimidating for some of us DIY kind of weekend warriors, but it is an approachable project. You will get a workout. This is something from digging the hole to hauling around 60-pound bags of concrete. You definitely are going to get some exercise. But let's jump in. I'll show you what supplies and tools you're going to need for this job. Quickly running through to give you an idea on what tools you're going to need. First, excavating and getting the hole where you need it. I used, especially in your area, depending on your soil type, I need this post hole spike, and this pick also comes in very handy to break up the more compacted and clay part of the hole. In addition, just a general purpose shovel, maybe small hand tools to kind of level it out, wheelbarrow obviously handy, and then something to tamp down the base later on is going to come in handy. Now moving on to making your frame and prepping the hole. So I use two 8-foot 2x4s, and that's because my pad is 48 inches by 45 inches. Super handy little corner clamp there, and you'll see how that's used. A speed square to make sure everything right there is squared up. A little compact nut driver to sink some general purpose deck screws. A torpedo level and then a larger level will come in handy to get everything leveled up. And then the stakes, you can use wood. Here I have some metal stakes, and I use wire mesh in the hole to provide more strength to the concrete. So I just got a 4x8 foot sheet, and you'll see how I use that, and then also made some stands to keep that wire mesh off the ground. And then the actual concrete tools themselves. One, this 2x4 here is used for a screed to strike it off. Once you have the concrete in the hole. Then I just use general purpose concrete here. This pile of rocks is actually supposed to be there. That serves as the base. You'll see later on in the video what kind of base I was using. Gloves. Don't forget gloves. Concrete can really dry out your skin if you're not careful. So it's always good when handling it to wear gloves. And then I just have an edge and a regular float. You can get a magnesium float, which I would probably prefer. Here I tried just one of the standard wood ones because I don't do these jobs very often. So that's it for the supplies and tools needed, and let's now jump in and make a frame. So I just need to roughly position the frame right now. And the way I went about that is I know that my stairs marked by those stakes are going to be 44 inches wide. I'm just trying to line up. I'm going to put stairs on the other side so you can see that board extending out. I just want to line up this left-hand side with that. And then 36 inches is minimum. So we're just going a little bit wider on this one. Then I do not have my stringers made because I want to get this platform landing pad in place prior to deciding exactly how high each of the risers is, but I do know there's going to be 3 steps. Each step being roughly 10 inches. I did measure back from the surface, and I put the stake here roughly where the back side, because I'm going to go out 30 inches, but then the stringer, the bottom of the stringer is going to come back and need to set on the concrete. So this stake here roughly indicates where the outside stringer will land on the concrete pad. Same with that side. So I want that to be positioned obviously inside the concrete pad. So I position those to be in their spot. Again, all this has to be rough at this stage because you're just going to dig out and get everything leveled in, put your base down, and then start to position that frame. So then I just put the stakes on the outside, marking plenty of extra space. And then I will start to dig down from this lower side. And I'm going to go down about 9 or 10 inches because I'm going to have 5 inches of concrete. And then I also want about 5 inches, 4 or 5 inches of base underneath the concrete. So that'll be on this lower side. Obviously I'll have to dig a little bit more on this high side just to get everything pretty much level with a slight slope out for rain so it can drain off properly. Okay, so I got the oversized hole dug, and what I'm going to try to do is make it flush in the back with the concrete and then have a little bit of a lip that's above the grass here, and I'll slope that down with the new dirt and then put some grass seed down. But next up, so you got to have a good base under your concrete. And what I'm using, so there's the bags of concrete. They didn't have exactly what I wanted at the home improvement shop, but this is a paver base, usually used and compacted under if you're putting pavers down for landscaping. But it's got a mix of aggregate sizes and then also the dust or fines, which should compact down well underneath the concrete and then also provide the drainage. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the hole, and I'm looking for about 4 inches of this, and then pouring overall about 5 inches of concrete. So another project in the books, and to give you guys some points of reference, this took me all day. So this was about an 8-hour project, and that's from excavating everything out, getting the base in, getting the frame leveled and set, and then starting the actual pour, floating it, edging it, backfilling it all around. So it's a full day project, and you're gonna get a lot of exercise throughout that day. Cost-wise, so if you guys quoted this out maybe with a local contractor and you have a price point, what this cost me, and it's a 48-inch by 45-inch landing pad, and it's about 5 inches thick in terms of how much material. This cost me $160 to get this in place. That does include about $30 worth of tools. So depending on what tools you have, you might only have about $125 out of pocket for cost. So that gives you a reference point if you have a contractor bidding it out for you. And then what did I learn? What did I do kind of wrong throughout this, and I will learn and do better in the future? Because we do learn the most from mistakes, but they don't need to be your mistakes. So hopefully you can learn from some of mine. One, when I had the frame in place, I had a gap at the bottom. Before I started the pour, I should have backfilled and filled in that bottom so the concrete would go right up to that material and have a nice finish at the base. So I would have backfilled that in to fill out the frame at the bottom. And then I did pour this a little drier than I want. So when I was trying to float this off, I couldn't get that nice cream at the top to get a nice smooth finish. I really had to work it, and some of these areas like down here were still drier than I'd want, and I just don't have the experience to know how to build that up. So I would go a little bit more than this prescribed water recommendations on the bag. For me, it was 1.9 liters per bag. I'd probably go to 2.1, 2.2, and pour it a little with a little bit more water in it and pour it wet. So that's it. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, don't forget to give us a like and also to subscribe to our channel. We have videos like this coming out on a weekly basis, and that includes additional videos on our deck project, which this is part of. So we'll see you on the next one.